I believed what the Muslim I studied. So I believed exactly from all my heart. The hatred for the Jews in my life, so much bitterness. I wanted just to kill them one by one. I couldn't bear them. But to go to Haifa and see them working together, I mean, everybody, all the society and the Arabs, I mean, they can buy houses, they can buy land, they can vote, they can be in parliament, they can. 2 years I was looking, all this studying it, I mean, living the life of Arabs and Jews in one city. Then I understood that something is not okay with my education in West Bank. It was a big lie. And the Jews are not really monsters, are not bloodsuckers. They have the same nose, same eyes, same mouth, same face. I mean, there's nothing different between us.
Today, I'm joined by Elias Maron, a man whose life story is almost impossible to believe. Elias was born to an Arab father and a Jewish mother, but grew up in an orphanage in Ramallah, believing he was Palestinian and being taught to hate Jews in Israel. Then at 16 years old, Elias discovered a truth that shattered everything he thought he knew about himself. His mother was Jewish, and so was he. The boy who once hated Israeli soldiers would eventually wear the uniform of the IDF himself, but his journey would take him through war, trauma, decades of addiction and homelessness before an extraordinary transformation changed the course of his life. Today, Elias dedicates himself to helping others and bringing Jews and Arabs together. Elias, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for accepting me.
Of course. I want to take you all the way back to the beginning. Who was the little boy growing up in Ramallah? What was it like? Tell us about your childhood.
Yeah, it was something like as a boy, I didn't know even what's going on in there or what. But my life there was very intensive between Christianity and Islam. I was raised in an orphanage, it's Christian evangelical orphanage, but that was not the school. The school was Islam, but in that orphanage, it was everything was by force. The Bible, we have to go through the Bible, read it, and we have to take it by heart. But if any time we don't know the Psalms by heart or any verses, we were beaten, and it was. This was the orphanage I grew up, and I was also abused sexually many times there with big children there. But the other side, there was the school of, I studied Islam, and I loved it. I believed in it. It was also the Quran. I learned it for many years there. And I grew up in an ideology of hatred for the Jews. It was, for us, was halal. Halal is kosher to kill Jews because it's very important to know that the Jews are coming, what I believe, that Jews were coming from monkeys, and it's okay to kill them because they are animals, they are not really human beings. And I believed all the history of Islam, it was truth, and we learned about Palestine, that the Jews took our lands, and they hate us, they killed many of us, and they are still taking other lands, and they kill all the Arabs, they don't love them, and that's what I learned and what I know. In Ramallah itself, I used to go out with a demonstration against the soldiers there, throwing stones, and the school, the mistress took us out, and we have to go to demonstrations. And it was, the life there was hell for me, and I couldn't bear it so much, but this is how I lived, and this is what I did in Ramallah, yeah.
Now, you were born to an Arab father and a Jewish mother. Do you know how they met each other? How did your parents come together in the first place?
No, I don't. I never met them. I mean, I think 2 years old when they put me in the orphanage. Afterwards, I know from my mother that my father took us from there, like kidnapping us and put us in Ramallah not to grow as a Jewish children. So that's what I know from my mother. Later, when I was in Ramallah, I met both of them, but still, for me, it was another man, another woman.
Mm-hmm. But why were you placed in an orphanage when your parents were still alive?
Yeah, this is the answer I never got, not from my mother and not my father. I think they got divorced. So he just took us and to Ramallah, and that's the only thing I knew, that they didn't get together. That's what they say. The only thing my father knew, that to put us in orphanage because he couldn't raise us, or he was poor or something. I don't know exactly. He never gave us the answer.
So when the other children went home for, let's say, the holidays and nobody came for you, what did you believe? Like, nobody wants me? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was horrible feeling. I just also remember that. I get goosebumps from these things. It's something that everyone can, his mother came or his father came or his uncle can take him. And we stayed, me and my brother there. Nobody demanded us or nobody came and take us to anywhere. Only later, the Jesus brothers from Latrun, they started taking us to their place. But the feeling was rejected. Nobody loved me. Nobody wants me. Even this God and this Jesus in Ramallah, what they teach us about love, about this, he was a Jew for me. And the kind of love I got from the pastor and the staff members, it was only by force. It was all the faith thing. It was only forced by the New Testament for me.
What were you taught about Israel and the land? Were you taught that the Jews had stolen your country?
Yes, what I learned that the Jews, they took the country by force and they put all the Arabs out from all of Israel and they put them somehow in the West Bank. That's in the West Bank, there's only Arabs. I believe that the Arabs live alone and the Jewish live alone somewhere else, and we have to fight them. We have to take our country back, Palestine. Yeah.
But at that point, when is the first time you actually met a Jewish person?
Yeah, the first time I met a Jewish person, it was a soldier in Ramallah. We used to throw stones on them. So this is the only thing I knew about soldiers. For me, they were monsters and they were monkeys, and we have to do something about it.
So you would have never imagined that you yourself would become an IDF soldier?
No,
right?
I would never imagine that. Even I wouldn't think about it, and I wouldn't want it. In those days when I was in Ramallah, for sure. For sure, yeah.
Yeah. What finally made you decide at around 13 or 14 years old that I have to escape?
Yes, it was. I was 14 years old. I had to run away because the accusation, I was abused sexually very many times. I went to the pastor there and told him that, and he beat me even worse. If you say it again, I'll beat you more and more and more. So I couldn't know where to go. Nobody wanted me. Nobody helped me. No father, no mother, no other person to talk about. Nobody believed me even that I was abused sexually. So I ran away from the orphanage, not from the school itself, but in the end I had to run away from over. But Jesus Brotherhood, they used to come with sing songs, and I felt a little bit love that these people are real, and where I am, it's not real. So the first thing I had to walk, I think 7 hours, I walked to Latrun. It was 30 kilometers. I walked as a boy, I ran away from there to Latrun, and I told them I'm not coming back there. So they helped me to go to a place in Haifa that was when I ran away. Yeah, exactly.
Now, apparently in Haifa, you started to encounter more Jewish people, right? What surprised you about them?
Yeah, when I went to Haifa, it was a Catholic church. They sent me to a Catholic church. It was a place for homeless people. And in this place itself, there were Jews and Arabs, and I was really shocked. For the first time, I got to Haifa, the city of Arabs and Jews getting together. This was not normal at all. I thought I was dreaming. I'm living a lie again with the Jewish propaganda. And I believed, and I said to the manager there, and he said, he's an Arab, Christian Arab. Why you keep this Jewish in your place? And he smiled like, this is what I'm talking about. And he put me in a room with a Jewish guy. And this guy, I think his name was Moshe. I mean, it was 35 years ago, 1982 or more. So this guy I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't sleep. I was so afraid that he would suck my blood, because there was a picture in our class in Ramallah with a big fat Jews with a kippah and much blood from his, with teeth, that he's eating the country of Palestine. And this was, I imagine, they are blood suckers. I was afraid that he will suck my blood. And this was for me, I couldn't sleep really. I was so frightened from this guy. But 1 week later, nothing happened. This guy is sleeping, is having a good rest, and I'm so stressed, I'm so afraid. In the end, this guy himself, Moshe, he said to everyone in the house, if anybody, because in this house, everybody used drugs, everybody used alcohol, but outside, but they always came stoned. So he said, anybody who gives Elias a cigarette or drugs, he will be thrown out. I'm going to say to the manager, he's going to be thrown out of this house. He was protecting me, this guy. And this was the house, for the first time I see that Arabs and Jews, we eat together, we wake up together, we have coffee together. I mean, it was very normal people. I mean, it was for me very, very surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing Arabs and Jews living together in Haifa, it completely changed the way you were thinking. Was there a moment in your Did you thought maybe I've been lied to my entire life until this point about Jews?
It took time. It took time because I couldn't comprehend him. I believed what the Muslims, what I studied in this way. I believed exactly from all my heart. The hatred for the Jews in my life, so much bitterness. I wanted just to kill them one by one. I couldn't bear them. But to go to Haifa and see them working together, I mean, everybody, all the society, and the Arabs, I mean, they can buy houses, they can buy land, they can vote, they can be in parliament, they can. 2 years I was looking all this, studying it, living the life of Arabs and Jews in one city. Then I understood that something is not okay with my education in West Bank. It was a big lie. And the Jews are not really monsters, are not bloodsuckers. They have the same nose, same eyes, same mouth, same face. I mean, there's nothing different between us. I mean, Arabs and Jews are really, they look alike. Some, if you come to Israel, they look really much alike. Even today, you don't see who's an Arab, who's a Jew. So this is like a cocktail today. That was the time, and the 2 years I was there till the age 16, I thought, you know what, Elias, something is not okay. Yeah, I still was a Palestinian. I wanted to be a Palestinian and to give the land back, but something not okay. And I saw many soldiers doing nothing then. They were machine guns and they're walking in the streets, normal life, nothing is happening. Not because I'm an Arab, they're attacking me. They never did it because I'm an Arab. And I was my Hebrew was not so perfect. I started to learn Hebrew in Haifa because in Ramallah, they don't teach Hebrew. Yeah, that was a big change in Haifa.
Take me back to age 16 when you went to get your Israeli ID card. What happened at that point?
Yeah, that was the change point, a big change. And I went to take my ideas Israel. In the end, I thought I was a Palestinian, but in the end, I find out that I was born in Jaffa, that I have to go to take my ID. And I went to the Interior Ministry and I took a friend with me because I couldn't read Hebrew, couldn't write still. So he helped me to put everything together. And after 1 hour, they gave me the ID. And my friend, I was looking at the ID, I couldn't read. Elias, you're a Jew. What? It can't be. I'm not a Jew. I'm a Palestinian. And then suddenly I was so angry that something happened. Like I felt that I'm betrayed. And something happened that's not true. I was shouting, I'm a Palestinian. I hate Jews. It's not. The secretary, they said, come down, please come down. And maybe there is a mistake. There's something happened. So I went there. Then she checked up again, and she said, she showed me the monitor. She said, Sarah Cohen, this is your mother name. So you can't be more Jewish than that. So this was for me another big shock and what's happening to me. And I didn't understand. Okay, you know what? And then I said, it's only a paper. I'm not, it's a Jew, but I found out that I'm not an orphanage. My parents are alive. The same minute I understand that my father is living in Jaffa and my mother is in Batya. So it was another two shocks together. This is all come. I couldn't understand what's happening with me. Yeah, I had to accept it because they couldn't change it. They cannot change. Now you are a Jew, now you are an Arab. I couldn't do that because by the law, if you are a Jew, you are a Jew. Citizen Jew is Israeli Jew, so you cannot really change to an Arab.
Like you said, you learned that your parents are alive. Why didn't you go looking for them? Did you have any desire to meet them?
Yes, but even my sister was also in an orphanage in Jerusalem. We were in Ramallah. We didn't meet her all this time. But she said later when I was in the army, but these 2 years, I didn't know where to look for them. I didn't know. My sister knew that they are alive and they are there somewhere there. She know where they are. This was later after when I was in the army. She asked me if I want to see my parents, and I did. So I went to check my father for the first time, and he's living in Jaffa. All my cousins, I had cousins. Suddenly I have a big family, cousins, 7 uncles, many cousins. I was happy to meet them, but my father was a very cold man. He was married again, and he had another daughter. He said, your mother was a bad woman. She beat you, didn't feed you, she didn't do. That's why I took you to Ramallah, and all kind of, I don't know if it's lie or if it's the truth. I will never know for sure. And then I think when I went to my mother, when I went to my father, I was a soldier already. So I went to my mother, also the same. She started blaming my father. She had another 3 children. She was married again. He's married again. I was again not accepted. not by my father, not by my mother. So I drank a cup of coffee, half an hour, then I left. It was, uh, uh, I don't know how to say it, very unusual. It's not my father, it's not my mother. I just two person I met, but I was happy that I had cousins from both sides. So you couldn't go to Jaffa, it's all Arabs. And the cousins in Batiam, they are Jewish, Orthodox Jewish. It was they are very Orthodox. They're from Morocco. My mom from Morocco. That was also a big surprise for me. I come from these two camps. What's happening to me? I couldn't comprehend all these things. It didn't work for me.
Looking back at your mother and father and what they actually did, have you forgiven them today, or do you still hold a grudge towards them? How do you feel about your parents?
Yeah, I can tell you for the years after the army and in the army, I visited them many times to get to know them. But they always say, I did forgive my father when he died only. So I had the only one who can shower him and put him on the suit. I was so angry at him. I cursed him. I shouted. Nobody there was in the bunker there in the hospital. In the end, I said, you know what? I forgive you. Just leave. That was very, very strong for me. And it was very hard for me to forgive him, but I had to forgive him. I say, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. So I just gave him the last honor to honor him for the last death. My mother she was, I visited her so many times, but she was, I think, very, very concentrated on her children or her husband. She never came even to visit my children. They don't know her. She never came. I used to come, and my brother, we used to go to her gifts, and I was in the marriage of my at least my one brother, half brother, and two sisters. I made birthdays, gifts, everything. But she never, and the last 5 years, I didn't visit her anymore. My brother also gave up. I gave up. But today, with my beautiful wife, we are turning. I believe that God is giving us an opportunity to go to her, at least to give her to tell her the good news about Yeshua Mashiach. And I wanted to do it, and I'm praying that God will give us the opportunity here and there. We wanted to go last week, but it didn't work because of some papers that they did for my wife. So, but we are planning to go to my mother and really give her the good news and tell her it's only Yeshua Mashiach and she can live in peace. And I love her and I forgive her. Yeah.
Well, thank God that she's still alive, so
Yeah.
you can always continue the relationship. But then Israel tells you that you had to serve in the IDF. What was your reaction when they told you that? Did you try to get out of serving in the IDF?
Yes, I tried very hard. The minute they brought me the papers and I went to the office, I bought a big cross, Catholic cross, because I was in the Catholic church. I believe in the Catholicism in these 4 years, and I was praying like a Catholic person. I went to this office. I said, I don't know Hebrew. I already learned Hebrew when I was in school, and they brought me an officer. He was a Druze. The Druze, they also go to the office to the army. So this guy, he tell me, Elias, okay, what's your problem? I said, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. I can't go to the army. I'm an Arab. I lived in Ramallah, and I told him I'm telling you the story what I'm telling you. And he looked at me and said, very, very interesting. Can I see your ID? I said, here's my ID. And he looked at my ID and says, you are a Jew. I said, yeah, it's written I'm a Jew. That's what it's written. I am a Jew, but I live there. I think he said, you are a liar. You're lying. All this story, I can't believe it. Show me one Jew is living in Ramallah. And there was no Jews in Ramallah in those days. There was not. So I didn't know what to answer him. He said, Elias, you have two options. And he was an officer. He had how to say it? I don't know in English the word. He was very strict. You have two options. Or you go to jail, or you go to army. You are a Jew, you are an Israeli, you have to go to the army. And this is he gave me 3 months. I had so much fear. What am I doing? What's happening? God, what are you doing in my life? What is happening to me? Why to the army? I used to throw stones. Maybe they will find out that I was throwing stones and all this. And suddenly I have to be a soldier. In those days also, I met my ex, her cousin. He's Christian, and he was in the army. And I didn't know that Christians and Muslims are not going to the Israeli army in those days. It was very normal. So he told me, he started 3 months. He tried to convince me, it's okay, you have to go. Jail is not good. The army can at least live a good life. You can have decent people there. They're okay. Everybody is, you can have you will have a good life after the army, because if you make army, you have all the rights to be a good citizen. So in the end, I had to go to the army, and I went to the army, and that was the shock of my life. They call it the bakum. It's where they come all together and then they put everyone to his unit where he should train. I think there was August 1987, 84. It was the biggest. I mean, there were thousands there. And imagine a Palestinian, my mom is still Palestinian and a boy. And I remind me of what I did in Ramallah. And I mean, I couldn't sleep in any tent. I had to sleep all outside, fearing from these soldiers. Yeah, after 1 week, they put me to a brigade. They call it Nahal Brigade. Yeah, this brigade was very, very special. You train together. You wake up in the morning together. You eat breakfast together. You run together. You shoot together. You train together day by day, day by day. And these guys, they never even show me that I have this accent, Arabic accent. Even if I speak Hebrew till now, I have this Arabic accent. So they know I'm an Arab. So they knew that everything that I'm an Arab, and it was normal for them. And the religious there in the unit had the synagogue, I have to make the Hashlamat Minyan. You need 10 people for prayer. You can't start praying. And they invited me to come inside and they start praying. I had to put the kippah. For the first time, I read the Old Testament many times in Arabic, and in the school we had to read it every day, and the New Testament. But for this first time, Ma Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. The minute said these words, something, it's like I believed in it. What I'm reading is something like very strong, and this is the real God. I found out that there is something real in this book. To read it in Hebrew, and I had so much, like a big peace, peace that I don't know what's happening to me. Yeah, and this is the unit I grew up with, and something changed in this unit. Suddenly, I am not rejected. I have a country, I have a flag, I have a machine gun. I'm a strong man. I'm a strong. I'm not like this boy who was abused sexually and beaten and was held there. So suddenly I can do something. I am something. I am somebody, and they like me and they love me. And they respect me as I am. And we became brothers, like real brothers. So this was the minute I went to the army until.
Now, what happened when you eventually returned to Ramallah as a IDF soldier? Did childhood friends or people that knew you see you in the uniform? How did that happen? React?
Yeah. First, after the training, it was the first time I went to Lebanon. That was the war in Lebanon, 1982. So I wanted to talk about Lebanon before the Intifada started. It was 87, but I was 84, 85. I was 84. In the middle of 84, I was in Lebanon. It was that the people that they helped us, I mean, they were Muslims and Christians, and we had to protect them from all this. PLO was there, Arafat, and then those days. They killed their families exactly what they did in 7th of October. And you go into these houses, you see children are shot and women are open wound. And this is all what I got. This very, very, very hard for me. It was, I couldn't believe that there is such a thing. I mean, I could have been doing this. Suddenly I see such a, wow, this is animals who can do such a thing, and it was, Lebanon for me was a place not for me, but I am there. Yes, I am killing terrorists, but something dies in me every time you kill. Because I mean, I believe that God never created us to kill anybody. We are not made to kill. Even you kill a terrorist, something dies in you. And you do it in the end automatically. But that was the beginning of my. I don't know what I am doing. If I'm doing right thing or what I'm doing, but I have to protect my country because I believe 6 months when I was in training, I believed in Israel. I believed the God of Israel, and I believe from Islam to Catholicism to the God of Israel now. And I used to read the Tanakh mostly every day in the army. Then 1987 started the Intifada, and suddenly after Jenin, Nablus, or even Yerushalayim and Bethlehem, they sent me to Ramallah so the minute I went in, after 2 hours, there was a big demonstration. Most of my friends, I recognized them, and they recognized me. And that's the first thing they did is they want to kill me. They think I betrayed them or something. And this was for me to see such a picture. This is my friends, my classmates. I grew up with them, and I know them personally, everyone. And I had to do, as a soldier, I had to do something about it. I love it. I try to tell them to just get out of here. Don't do it, and don't. But as a soldier, I had to do what I had to do the order, what they ordered me to do. In Ramallah itself, the father was so they killed two soldiers from my brigade with knives. It was knives in those days. The hatred of the Jews and the British came against them suddenly. Also because they started also bombing buses, children, civilians killing. I hated them so much that I was almost like a monster again. Something happened to me, changed me, that I didn't behave as a right soldier, because in the army you don't have to do what you have to do. The first thing they teach you: don't touch your child, don't touch a woman, don't shoot until if they shoot at you. But I was going into houses and do what I have to do. But again, I hated them because I think I hated myself even as a Palestinian. Why do they believe? And then I said, they believe a lie. They believe a lie. And this was the minute when I went to Ramallah. It was hell itself again.
Now, when did drug use enter your life? You speak about heroin and things like that. That it felt like a medicine rather than a drug. Why did you feel you had to use it, and at what point was this?
Yeah, it was when I finished the army. I was, I think, 4.5 years, 5 years there. Was in the army. I finished the army, a broken man, Lebanon, Spang, every time. It was Intifada and Lebanon all the time. And I went back to this Catholic. I used to go also sleep there from the army. I didn't have, that's the only place I had to go sleep. I didn't have a house, didn't have a family. I didn't really live with my father and mother. So that's the only place. I went back when I finished the army. 1 week later, I had nightmares that I couldn't bear it. I was shouting, and I don't know. I thought I want to die. It was a really very bad nightmare. And then this guy, the Druze guy in my room, in this place, he was also in the army. So he said, Elias, I know what you have. I can help you with the kind of medicine. So I never understood. I saw them using drugs, but I never used. I saw them smoking, but I never smoked. So he put like a patch, heroin on the table. He said, you have to sniff it through your nose. I said, well, my nose, it's not a medicine. So in the end, I did sniff it. And in seconds, I think in seconds, it's a good medicine. It was like, you don't have depression, you have no feelings, nothing. You have no nightmares. Everything was okay. But the only minus in it is you have to do it every day. Yeah, and I went through it again and again and again. Suddenly I saw myself, I couldn't leave it. I was so addicted to it. I thought it's only one time. And this addiction took me for 35 years. But I think after was 1994 that I was in the street already. I got married. Yeah, I got married. I had 3 children. And these drugs made hell at the house. I had to steal money from my wife. Even the milk that she had to buy, I had to steal just to get some medicine. I loved my children so much, and I'm doing again the same what my parents are did to me. I didn't leave them. I stayed at home, but my wife couldn't bear me. I mean, I used to shock her at night from my nightmare. She suffered a lot with me. She really suffered a lot, this woman. My children suffered a lot. Many times they didn't have food to eat. But I didn't know what I'm doing. I was lost. I was so blind. I was so in the darkness. One day I was in the street that I couldn't even use drugs. I didn't have the money to use drugs. I was like a dog. I was eating from the rubbish even for many months. Till one day I just knelt down in the streets. Many people there. I didn't look at anybody. I just, in Hebrew, I shouted, God, Elohei Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. If you are alive, if you are there, if you are somewhere, just help me, please. Because I really tried to commit suicide many times. I was in mental hospital. I tried to kill myself. I couldn't bear it anymore. Later they told me that I have PTSD because of the army. It was traumatic. It's a trauma. So the second day, there's a guy, he's a pastor today. He took me to Teen Challenge. If you heard about him, David Wilkerson in New York, in Times Square Church. So this was a part of David Davis, and the manager was Eric Benson there. And I went to this house, and this house was a big, big blessing for me. The people were a big blessing, especially Eric Benson, the manager. He helped me a lot. He teach me a lot. And for the first time in this house, I read the Bible because I want to read the Bible. I saw love from these people. I saw that they never rejected me. They accepted me as I am, exactly who I am. It doesn't matter. And they always tell me, Elias, don't take it day by day. God can heal you. God can do miracle with your life. And I start believing what that I'm reading in the Bible about the real Yeshua Mashiach, and not the other Jesus that I learned in the West Bank. That was not real. They were rejected. They abused me. This was for me. This is not the here in the House of Victory. I learned about Jesus, that he forgave my sins. He gave me new life. He's giving me a new life. He can give me. It was something like you live in a place where nobody rejects you. Everybody loves you. Everybody wants you. Nobody abuses you. Nobody beats you. Nobody forces you to read the Bible. It's all with love. And this is a place I think I went through many times there because I had my ups and downs. I had faith in God. I knew him somehow, but I couldn't trust him. Yeah. You know, people came to me and say, God is a father, you know, but I couldn't understand what is. Also, I got divorced in those days also. Not good. The big change came when I was before 7 years, because every time I want to be Titzachon also so much, but I did it for this and for my wife, for my children. It was never for me. It was never 100% to God, because I couldn't really be in a relationship as a father because I didn't know how to do it, you know. But for 7 years, I was in a place for 1 year. Didn't know the language. There was Russians there. There was nothing. It's also a teen challenge. And I had the opportunity to really meet God this 1 year alone with him. I had the time to really ask him for forgiveness, and I surrendered. Those days I did surrender for real. And I say, God, I'm a bad, I cannot lead my life anymore. I'm so bad. It's like, I always say it like, I give an example of the license. I had like the license in Hebrew, and the driver in Hebrew is manhik, nahak, is manhik. So God is driving the car. I sit behind and John, I cannot tell him right and left. Today he's leading my life. He's leading my whatever I'm thinking about, whatever I do, I always ask, and he's the first in my life. So today there's nothing to do with Elias. It was never for me. It's not me. It was not my story. It was his story he gave me. And whatever he gave me, I was thankful, and I asked for forgiveness, and I asked people forgive. I asked my ex to forgive me. And I know I'm forgiven today. And I know that God's put his blood into my life. I have a new life. And today I believe what God says about me is more important than what people says about me. I'm not rejected. I'm accepted. I'm a child of God. I'm a saint. I'm an ambassador. I'm loved. And this is the new creation of my life. Yeah.
Now, as someone who has experienced war and PTSD yourself, what do you think October 7th and the war has done psychologically to the Israeli society? We hear IDF soldiers, unfortunately, committing suicide. I guess many of them hooked on drugs. What does it do to you when you hear about these cases?
Yeah, for me, it was when I heard about 7 October, I said, not again. I mean, it's the PTSD when it comes. I think when you are not connected to God, and I'm going to say something about God because I was not connected to God. And what happened in 7 October was the most miserable, the most worst day for Israel. But you happen to understand, Israel is not the first time this was. How old is Israel? 77 years? 77 years of war. All Israel is traumatic. All Israel. You can see them when they drive. They're always angry. They're always stressed. Everybody's stressed. And you can see people. I tried to commit suicide, of course. I was stressed all the time. I see everybody as an enemy. That's the stress. Everybody is not good. and you start believe things that they're big lies, what happens to you. If I say it, there's no words to comprehend what you go through. They go through it because you are again and again and again and again in this stress and this trauma, because I sometimes I still smell or the blood, it's blood, and I have this flashback sometimes, but thank God he healed me. But yeah, most of my brigade were killed in Lebanon or in the West Bank. Or they are today. Most of them are drugs abuse. I see them sometimes. There is no solution for these soldiers. There is no solution. I went to psychology. I went to psychiatric. I went to the best of soldier army psychologists. It didn't help me. Took medicine. It didn't help me. Nothing helped me. Really, I tell you the truth now, bro. It's the only way is when I believed in God and Yeshua Mashiach. He's the healer. He's the only healer. You cannot be healed from medicine. You can't be healed when you're talking. I mean, people, the psychiatrists put out the trouble, the problem, and then what to do with it. I will tell you straight. I don't know what to do with what they put out from my inside. But yeah, and I can't explain it exactly what everybody goes through. I went through myself through my West Bank. What they go through is, I think it's worse to see your family killed, to see these children, put them in the home. This is Satan. This is Satan, satanic. These people are satanic. I was there. So I lived hatred. You could do such a thing for sure. I wouldn't have a problem if I stayed to do like the same like them, because you are demonized. You are so much demons in you that you don't feel even if you are killing a child or you're killing a person, because this is the monkey. This is a pig, this is nothing. They are nothing. And this is the ideology. You believe in it. When you believe in it, you hurt others, but you don't care what you hurt others. This is it's even in sorry to say it, it's in the Quran. The Christians, the Jews, everybody, you have to kill them all. And I believed it. I believed it from all my heart. I should do it. And it's my obligation to do all the world should be Israel. But the minute you meet the God of Israel, Elohei Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the minute you meet Yeshua Mashiach, your Savior, you're free. You're healed. I'm a free man. I'm so healed. God took everything from me, but you have to surrender. And I pray for these souls every day. I pray for the families there. Every day we pray with me and my wife. There is no solution. Not the army. Nobody can help these people. Only God of Israel. There's no other medicine. Sorry.
Now, how do you distinguish between Palestinian civilians and Hamas? After everything you personally experienced, we know on October 7th, Hamas came in, but Palestinian civilians also came in. And you told me yourself you would be ready to do the same thing that Hamas did, right? So is there any difference between them? Do they have the same ideology? Are they the same enemy? What is your thoughts about that?
I'm going to tell you only my opinion, what I believe, what I experience in my life. They're very, very good Palestinian people. I go to Bethlehem sometimes. I have some friends. Hamas is a satanic movement. I could have been one of them. But the civilians, most of the civilians, they learned the same ideology, but Hamas was their own ideology. I was not there, thank God, but other people talked about it. But this is there. I think they abuse me one by one. Hamas people are abused sexually for sure. Because I was abused sexually, I could do the same like them. One by one. They abuse them, they beat them, they teach them what I have to teach them. I have money. I don't hate Muslims. I don't, the ideology of Islam I hate, because God hates it, because it's satanic. They are very good people, Muslims. In the end, let's see. I cannot tell you not very far the history of what happened to Iraq, Syria, and the Arab regions. They are good people. When they live with you, they have neighbors. But the minute they have the power, the ideology is inside. It comes out, They killed Christians, their neighbors. And they were good people. Thank God. I thank God I'm living in Israel. They don't have the power. But the minute they have the power, and they tell you the truth, even I have Muslims in Haifa, my friends, what would you do when you have the power? He said, you are the first one I kill. And he's my friend. He tells me that. You are the first one, because I have to kill you, because you are not a Muslim. Or you become a Muslim. It doesn't matter where they are, what they are. They have in here, or I don't know what they have it, the faith. I had it. But the minute it comes out, because in the Quran it says, be nice. I always say, make hummus for them, make food, invite, be a good person. That's the beginning. And it's the Quran, it's stages. You start, educate yourself, they're educating you. Be with them, live with them, buy land, buy a house, be rich, start to be in the parliament, be bigger, build. And the minute you have the power, says the Quran, strike. No matter what. No matter what. I don't think any Muslim will stand. And I think that I believe there are many Muslims, some Muslims will save Jewish and Christians. That's what happened in Germany. But the majority will kill when they have the power. And when they have the power, I can see it. Hamas, they had the power, they did. It's just a matter of time. And they don't care, 100 years, 200 years, it will happen in there. And because this is in here, they believe it and they will do it. And this is what I see and from my experience and what I would have done the same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you say to people around the world who describe Israel as an apartheid state? They keep the Arabs and the Jews segregated. They portray the Israelis as evil. They're committing genocide. All these things that they accuse Israel of. You spent your life in Israel. What do you say to that?
I believed whatever I said, but all what you say, I believed it. I told you from then, I believe that there is no Jewish, there is no Arabs ruling, and they took all the land. But from my experience from Haifa, and 14 years old, today I'm 60. This is a big lie, big propaganda. I mean, I was in Europe, but we talked about it. When I talked with people, a biggest propaganda ever. The Arabs here, they have all the rights, exactly like every Jew. They can buy land, they can buy a house, they can go educate themselves. They can do whatever they want. They are free to speech. They can say whatever they want. They can be in the parliament. They can vote to the parliament. There's no apartheid. I mean, my wife is from South Africa. She knows what the apartheid. One day you'll ask her, what is apartheid? There is no apartheid in Israel. It cannot be. And I always invite them when I went to look, come with me. Come with me to Haifa and show me what is apartheid. Show me what is apartheid. You believe a big lie. Most of you in Europe, they're believing a big lie. In America, the same. It's an agenda. It's a propaganda. It's some. Even in the Quran itself, there's many verses. The people of Israel, the land of Israel, the God of Israel. If you believe in Muhammad, if you believe in the Quran, why you don't look? There is no Palestine there, you know. This is a big agenda about Palestine. There is Palestinians, of course. This was the name was called in the Romanian time. But if Muhammad says that, why you don't believe it? He says, God of Israel, told Moses, take this land. It's yours. And they say in the book, in the Quran, if you have doubt in the Quran, go to the people of the book. It's us, the Christians and the Jews. They know the truth. They have the truth in the Quran itself. So why you think it's apartheid? Okay, I'm 60 years here. There's no apartheid. This is a big lie. I'm laughing, you know, when they say apartheid. They come, you know what? Be a man and come to Israel, and I'll show you what's apartheid. Show me where's the apartheid. I challenge everyone who thinks there is apartheid to come to Israel.
What about what they say about Israel and how they killed so many people in Gaza? And would you have done this war any differently than the IDF has done?
The beginning of the Intifada and Lebanon, I told you again, the first thing we learn in the army, don't touch a child, don't touch a woman, don't take an old man, anyone, don't talk to him. Don't shoot unless they shoot at you. Palestine has so many chances to make peace with Israel. Israel did everything to give land. Even they wanted to give after Jerusalem, if you remember in Rabin time. They wanted peace. Israel really wanted. I faked it. I was there. I was living every day. They wanted everything, to give them whatever they want. Just live with us, be with us. We want you to live with us. Many years. I mean, for 30 years, they're doing that, Israel, and they're always, again, terror. They have so many patients. I think Israel today, they used to, I wouldn't do something else. Of course, if you see Israel, and you see it here, you can see I was in Bethlehem, and sometimes you can see the peppers coming down, get out of this zone. There's rules in Israel. You cannot shoot or bomb any place without a rule. There is a rule. This is, how to say it, this is an organized army. It's not a terror organized or like a guerrilla war. And I was a soldier. I don't know how the rules go. And people don't believe maybe what I say. But there is no such a thing, a baby killer. They called me in Europe baby killer. And I told them, okay, do you see a baby killer in me? He thought I'm an Arab from Palestine. I said, and then I told him I'm a soldier. I was an officer in the army. Do you see a baby killer here? And then he was shocked, but this is not the story. But if I would have done the war again, war is hell. There's always people are killed, civilians are killed. You can see in Germany, they bombed all Germany. What happened? Civilians were killed. Every time war happens. But this is the, what they call it, this is the evil in every person. If you don't believe God, if you don't believe in Yeshua, you believe in evil. You believe a lie. I believe the lie. And you act accordingly. The Israeli soldier doesn't believe a lie. They go under the rules. What they did, I think it was, do I say, is it the right thing to do? I don't know. I have no answer for that. War is hell for both sides. But I think Hamas should put their weapons down. Because when life in the West Bank when I was a boy was good for the Palestinians. When I go to Bethlehem or Bejala or Ramallah sometimes, they wish, some of them, they wish Israel comes back. Because most of the Christians in the West Bank are persecuted because they are Christians. Nobody talks about that. Nobody knows that. I go there a lot. Nobody knows that. The authority and everything. But Israel, again, whatever happened, Israel tried their best. Now I think they took the gloves out, and they say, so.
Is it possible to negotiate with Hamas, with the Islamic regime of Iran, when they believe that they are doing the job of Allah, right? They believe that they're doing the work of the Quran, of whatever God wants them to do. Can you negotiate them to stop? Or is it just wishful thinking to think that they're ever going to stop what their plan is to do to kill non-Muslims?
It's the biggest mistake if we negotiate with Hamas or Iran. It's a big mistake. You cannot negotiate with somebody. Okay, somebody, he wants to die. He's ready to die. So how can you go against him? You can't go. He's always the winner because he wants to die and he wants to take with him as much people as he wants. These people, you can't negotiate with them. You can't. You just can't. Even in Arabic, if you negotiate with them, you tell them, I'm a Palestinian Arab, you can't. They kill their own there in Gaza, in Iran. You can see it all the world. But again, the propaganda, it's always Israel. How to say it, it's always Israel is to blame. Because you know what? Because the devil always going to blame God. Because they are the people of God, not because they are good people, again. No, they are the worst, maybe. But God's plan will be. You know what? I'm going to say something. This land, in the Quran, it says for the Israelites, and God put them back after 2,000 years. It was a desert here. And they built paradise here. If you think, anybody in the world, no, I don't care, Americans, European, Arabs, if you think that you can put them out of here, you are fighting the God of Israel. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. This land is for them. And I believe my faith, that if God allowed these Palestinians to be here, we should accept them as a Jews. We cannot put them out. I mean, all the time, the people of Israel went with aliens together with them. Even Egyptian came out with them. So it was always the plan of God. If there are Arabs here, I think the Jews should accept. And the Palestinians, the Arabs, the Palestinians, they should accept that this is the land of Israel. And they are welcome to live here freely. Look at the Arabs everywhere. Haifa, Tel Aviv, Jaffa, Kisa, everywhere there is Arabs. Everywhere you come to Israel, there's Arabs. And they are living freely and they can live. And they can, if you obey the law of the country. There is nothing. These people, you can't make peace with them. And I don't recommend it even. You can't talk to them. This is not possible. This is how to say it, it's a dead fight. You can't negotiate with these people. They are ready to kill you because you are telling the truth even.
Exactly. Yeah. Elias, I want to thank you for your time. This has been an eye-opening conversation. I truly appreciate the time you spent with me. I know nowadays you have an organization What is the name of your organization, and how can people support you and find more about your organization?
Yes, today I work with my wife together. We started KBN. It's known by name, and it's very important because these people. Because when I was in the street, nobody called me by name. I mean, they pushed me. Hey, hello, hey. Nobody even wanted to help me, and nobody wanted to feed me. Nothing. So I believe that these people are so rejected. They feel like dogs. They feel like animals. And I go 3 times a week to Tel Aviv. It's hell on earth. These people are really living with stinking and so much. But we build something in Tel Aviv, the soup kitchen, we call it. We feed them. We try to give clothes, and we want to increase it to feed them every day. We need a bigger place if somebody wants to help. The only thing that these people, they are known by name because God called everyone by name. God called me by name. Today I have a name. Today I'm free. And these people, the love we give, the hug we give them, we hug them every time. We love to hug them. We love to kiss them. My wife worked with the prostitution, the girls with the prostitution. What I want to ask, please, please, please help us to help these people. They need so much. They need, I mean, for me, I believe there's such a place to give them showers, give them clothing, and feed them. One day they were going to ask, why do you help me? I talked to them about what how God free me, how Jesus free me also. And these people, they need so much love. They need so much attention. We believe that God will raise up such a place that we can really, because every day you take a shower, every day you take new clothes, every day somebody feeds you, you want to stay like that. And I believe if people can help us with just taking care of these people. And again, I want to say, please help us to help these people, because we have many Christian rehab centers, but again, they cannot take them because they are still through drugs. The house we are talking about, the vision, what God gave me, we need a house just to put them in. It's like how to say it? It's a house until they are convinced that they want to stay clean and get out of drugs. And it's when I remember myself in the street when nobody wanted to hold me, because in the end, Yeshua said, "You feed me, you did everything thus you did to me. Whatever you do to these people, you are doing to me." So if anybody really wants to help, we have this. We can. I don't know if you can put the link there with you, and
Sure.
we will come prayers. The most important prayers. Please pray for me and my wife. We pray for volunteers. We need volunteers to come and help us in Tel Aviv, and we ask God that He increase these people, because we can help. We feed 150 for now, but there is more hundreds and more and more. It's a big city, Tel Aviv. It's not only Tel Aviv, it's in Haifa, it's everywhere in Israel. It's everywhere in the world. So thanks for everyone will pray and help us and volunteer.
Okay. God bless you. And we wish you the best of success and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much. God bless you too.
Thank you.
Bye.